Steve, we're here today with an early access look, a little preview, if you will, of Bramble, the Mountain King. This is from Dimfrost Studios. They've given us an early access build of the game, so we're going to take a little look at it, and, well, I have my feelings. I'm sure you have yours. First of all, this game looks amazing. I have to say, it's not the most high resolution, it's not the completely hyper-realistic look, but it does the job just fine. I love the foliage in it. But what did you get in your first experience?
Exactly what you just said. As soon as I fired it up and it starts off, exactly the same thing is, wow, this looks amazing, stunning. And like you said, it's not, the best way to describe it, it's not like the very fine detail, facial, like the hairs and the lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is so works so well with this. And I will touch on as well, like, apart from the graphics, the initial start was the narrative storytelling at the beginning. And I have to say, the build up to it got me hooked straight away. And as you say, you start off, you play as Ole, who's a boy that is looking for his sister that's been kidnapped by a troll. So you go out into the forest trying to hunt her down. And like you said, the first part, because in this demo, there's only two really parts to this. Is the first bit is the exploration, a bit of the story, and then there's the boss fight. But we'll start on the first bit first. I absolutely, really got hooked into this game. But I did have some slight issues with the game mechanics. I was not over keen on the camera angle. I found it very limited when you're walking. As to look around where you're going, it was very, as you turn it to the left, it feels like it stops so far. And it's very limited on the scope. How did you find the game mechanics for yourself?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying about the camera. That's something specifically a little annoying to me, because I like having that camera control, take a look at this beautiful landscape, but it is done in a purposeful manner. And I know that's because it's to support that narration that you say. The story is really what's going to bring you through this game. And I had the subtitles turned off and just tried to put myself right into the game. And it did hook me in the same as you. I thought, okay, there's some folklore here, things going on. I was debating earlier whether it's UK or if it's Scandinavian. It seems to be Scandinavian folklore that this is based on. And that is interesting because it's very dark. It's very grim.
Yes.
And this game does get quite dark, quite grim. And it gives you a warning about that right at the start. So when you load the game, it does say this will have quite a laundry list of awful things in it, but it's for dramatic effect, and that's exactly the purpose. And I think it is effective. We've only had a very small scope, a little small look at the game here, but what I did see was a little bit of an emotional tie. I'm invested in this character already.
Yes.
And I know it has the potential to break my heart. And I feel there's a similarity here between Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, or Blanc. One of those narrative-led games that brings you through a story, and by the end, you're not sure if you beat the game or if the game beat you.
Yes. And as you start off, you do not have any weapons or anything like that, but as you progress through the story, like in the first part of the chapter, I would say, is you do find a spark of courage, which is like a glowing orb that you actually throw to hit certain things, and you actually do play with your sister at the beginning, Lilymore, to sort of say, hit this pine cone to get you used to the game mechanics of firing stuff. And you are definitely going to need this in the second part, because as you go further in the forest, we actually come across the boss fight.
What I've been referring to as the Spriggan. And that really brings that camera control into focus, doesn't it? Because you're moving around this little arena, and it is quite a scripted event. But you're going through different kind of challenges as you beat down the boss over time, but it involves looking far left, looking far right, and moving around in a circular manner around the boss, which is all well and good. That all works just fine, but the challenge is, how can I look far enough to the right? Yes, it seems a little strange, a little disconnected from what you're doing there. But multi-stage boss fight, it wasn't easy, but it also isn't terribly hard. I think this game is going to strike a nice middle zone. I'm really curious, and I want to get hands on this game when it reaches full release. And I believe that is in about a month, the end of April. So
Yep.
I'm hoping to get my hands on it. Whether I recommend this one or not, I have to say I absolutely do. This game has a little bit of that emotional tinge to it, and I'm hoping for some really good storytelling here.
Yep. Like you, again, and I keep saying, like, it's a recommend for me as well. As soon as I started the game, it pulled me straight in with the narrative, the graphics, the background music, the voice acting, as usual. And like I said, I wasn't over keen on the camera angle for moving around on certain things, but again, it might be a case of readjusting sensitivity on my controllers or doing something like that. But I can't wait to get my hands on the full game and see where it takes us.